Hi, I'm Rebecca and this is Abundant City. Whether you start your tomatoes from seed or buy the seedlings in a store, you're going to need to repot them to a bigger pot. And here's how. First, you need a large container. This is a great size. You can go a little bit smaller, but not that much smaller. Or if you're growing in a raised bed, that's great too. And next, of course, you need your tomato seedling. Around 6 weeks old is great, and you want it to be nice and warm outside before you start to plant your tomatoes. Now we're going to plant this tomato really deep, right up to about here. We'll bury most of the stem. That will actually encourage a stronger root system because tomatoes have this amazing ability to grow roots out of their stems. So first of all, we have our nice potting soil here. I'll just dump a bunch in. Now I filled about a third of the pot up to there. Let's just measure and see how we're doing. That's pretty good. I think I'll add a tiny bit more. Okay, now it looks like the tomato's just poking out, but it will be nicely covered. So this is a part that takes a little bit of skill and sometimes some practice. I'm going to mostly hold this tomato by its root ball, being careful not to handle the delicate stem too roughly. I'll give this a squeeze and then gently tip it into my hand. There we go. I want to loosen this up a bit just so that the roots can stretch their legs a little. And then I'll place it in the center of the pot like that. Now, the next little step that we want to do is pick off the lower leaves because those will be covered with soil. Now we're ready to cover most of it with our potting soil. So as you can see, I'm covering most of the stem with soil. Okay, that's looking pretty good. We want to just gently pat it down, just enough so that we remove any large air pockets, but not so tightly that we damage the stem or the roots. That's pretty good right there. Now the next thing about tomatoes is that they are a warm climate plant, and here in Vancouver, even in May or June, we can sometimes get cold nights and rainstorms. So I'm going to build a little tent to protect the tomatoes. I have some bamboo sticks here, and I'll just poke them in. Now, I'll grab a twist tie to hold them together. Now the funny thing about tomatoes is that they are a warm weather plant. They want protection from the rain because they can get mold and other fungal diseases if rain gets on them. And they also need a lot of airflow that also prevents disease. So it's kind of a catch-22. We have to figure out a way to protect them, but not to hold the air too still. So I'm just going to gently use some clear plastic to make a tent that will hopefully keep most of the rain off, but not trap all of the air. These clips are from a dollar store. They're really great. Office clips are great too. Let's just leave a little bit of a space there so that some air can get in. I can trim this later. I might go in with some scissors and cut some holes again for that airflow. But after a good watering, this looks pretty good. I'll want to feed it with a liquid organic fertilizer about once a week and let it dry out a little bit in between waterings. But otherwise, we're pretty good to go.